Final day. Oh, we're just jumping ahead 3 days. Huh? Okay, okay. This should be good enough. Took me forever, but I'm finally done with my letter. Cerberus's participation in the live fire exercises was cancelled, for obvious reasons, really, and the battalion returned to Dover Base Complex immediately after completing the mission. I secluded myself inside my room on the long way back, and spent all my time writing a letter. The task ended up taking me the entire day-long trip to complete, and then some. I must admit, writing in English isn't my forte. I was forced to rely on a dictionary to see the task through, but I had no other choice. English is the official international language, and the only means of communication we share. How stupid of me. It was only after I sealed the envelope that I realized I missed something obvious. I didn't write down who the letter's for. I haven't met anyone from Cerberus since yesterday's sortie. Not that their absence came as a surprise. There is the mandatory debriefing session and the after-action review to attend, as well as other matters of importance that demand their attention. They wouldn't have time for a mere cadet posing as an officer. I was informed of today's change in the schedule by the United Nations Forces Attaché who was supposed to see me off. Whoops, not good. I don't know since when, but I just noticed I've been pushing the envelope to my chest. Thankfully the letter will still be in presentable shape. Can't spot any wrinkles or tears. I will never forget these past 10 days I've spent in Europe. Even though my standing was the lowest, the honor of serving alongside the noble watchdogs of hell has been the highlight of my life so far. It's a memory that I shall treasure as long as I live, however short that time might be. My remembrance of Cerberus will forever remain vivid. Their way of life, one that I'll strive to follow from this day onward. I left the Empire a boy. Now, I will return a man. Among the many things I've learned from them, what will stay with me forever is the true value of individual freedom. Everyone here adheres to the regulations, but not blindly. Should the situation call for improvisation, they will not hesitate to do so. All members readily assume both personal and group responsibilities, and the system runs like a well-oiled machine. My narrow-minded dogmatism has been pulverized. Their values are different from those of Imperial pilots, but the results they show have every reason to be confident. That is the source of their strength. Maybe that first-hand experience was exactly what I needed. I've learned countless life lessons from Father, my brothers, and the Royal Guard, but the only thing that got through were the words, not the meaning behind them. Everything I used to believe in, the creed I used to follow, has been proven false, beyond a shadow of a doubt. All I can feel now is desolation. I've been wrong all along. That's what I've come to understand from my time in Dover. I haven't gained anything, nor have I matured in any way whatsoever. But that's fine. I return home with a newfound sense of purpose. With the experience I've gone through here engraved upon my heart, I am ready to set on a new path. That is my mission, and no one will fight this battle for me. It's about time to part with this room. Farewell, my little castle. Thank you for these past 10 days.
Oi, oi. 何の儀式だそりゃ?
Lieutenant Brower, how long have you been there?
あ? お前が封筒を握りしめて切ない顔し始めたあたりでな。
Please delete that from your memory. You could have announced yourself. Now what am I saying? You're supposed to knock. You're supposed to knock before you come in.
悪かった悪かった。めんどくさかったんでつい。まさか東洋の奇襲の最中だとは思わなくてな。
Like I said, delete that from your memory. That smirk tells me you're not sorry at all. You're definitely going to tell the others and make a laughingstock out of me, aren't you? This man might be a knight on the battlefield, but he's simply intolerable in person.
俺だぜ。この俺がわざわざ迎えに来てやったんだから、そんなに怒んなって。
I really have no idea what you're talking about. So again, what are you doing here?
だからお迎えだよ。この俺がお前を少佐のとこまで連れてくんだよ。
What are you talking about? That's Lieutenant Fulner's job. She's my supervising officer. No!
あいつ、昨日のデブリレポートでありえねえミス連発しやがったんで。さっきメデューサに呼び出されて。
Okay, I was gonna say, if you're about to tell me she fucking died, I'm gonna fucking be pissed. Medusa?
あれ知らねえベスターナッハ中尉の本名だよ。
Her real name?
なんだよ。 イルフリーデから聞いてねえのかよ。アイパッチに隠された注意の右目はな。でな、その魔眼に睨まれたやつは一瞬で石にされちまうんだよ。それでな、頭からバリバリと食われて茶色い宝石にされちまうんだぜ。マジマイルだろ。やばくね？あっておい、聞いてんのかよ。
Let's see. I certainly remember the briefing room being this way. How regrettable. There I was, starting to see Lieutenant Fulner in a better light. But it seems I was too hasty. Should be the same happy-go-lucky Arid until the very end.
ほら着いたぜ。俺の役目はここまでだ。
Thank you for all that you've done for me, Lieutenant Brower.
おいおい小僧、嘘はいかんな。嘘は。
What are you talking about?
今全くありがたくないだろお前。
That's not true. Can't say he's completely mistaken, but I do hold a small measure of gratitude toward the lieutenant as well.
無理すんな。本当はイルフリーデに会いたかったんだろ。
Not really. I'm perfectly fine with being sent off by you.
俺の顔見てあからさまに嫌な顔しやがったくせに。よく言うぜ。
No, well, she's done a lot for me these past 10 days. It'd be rude of me if I left without saying goodbye, so I...
たくめんどくせえガキだな。慎み深いのも結構だがな。お互いいつ死ぬかわかんねえんだぞ。いい女だと思ったんなら、やれる時にやっとけってんだよ。ダメ元で頼みはよかったじゃないか。じれってえな、まったく。
Salacious choice of words aside, the man has a good point. This might very well be the last time I see Lieutenant Fulner, or anyone else here for that matter. I know the chance of us meeting again is remote at best. I don't even need to remember how death was looming over me yesterday. Statistics alone are enough to drive the point home. Very few surface pilots live through the 8 minutes of death. Live in the moment. That's what Lieutenant Brower is trying to tell me. 10 days ago I would have disregarded his advice without second thought. Now I intend to listen. You might be right, Lieutenant. In fact, you probably are.
へえ、らしくねえな。
Even so, I think I'm fine just the way I am. My duty as a member of the Royal Guard, and as a Makabe, remains important to me. Be that as it may, I'm well aware I have yet to grow strong enough to protect what's important to me. That's one thought I haven't been able to shake since witnessing yesterday's battle. I will choose my own path, no matter where it leads. Perhaps I'll end up stumbling in the dark. In fact, that's rather likely. But I don't think I could live with myself if I didn't try. Where my oh god, his face, like, oh god, dude, with this shit. Where my experiences will take me, I have no idea. But I'm not in haste. All I can do for now is to watch and learn. No amount of complaining or screaming to the winds that I'm already a full-grown man will change that. Maybe it's all for nothing. Waste of time, some may say. Right now, though, I don't think that would bother me in the slightest. The answers I seek will come to me eventually. All I need to do in the meanwhile is to live. To experience all that life has to offer. There is a time and place for everything. You see, Lieutenant, I learned something important here. That if you simply force yourself to cram knowledge into your head, without reflecting on the real lessons even once, you'll never grasp its true meaning, try as you might. I assume it's the same with women, although I'm fairly inexperienced in that regard. You may take my words as an admission I'm still a brat, but don't worry, this brat is not going to bother you for much longer. I used to believe, barely 10 days ago, that Lieutenant Fulner's words were too vague. Now I find they're awfully close to the way I'm thinking. Looking at things from another perspective, maybe she has been undergoing the same process all along, living and learning from her experiences all this time. How fascinating. This brief exchange with Lieutenant Brower has pushed me to impose some degree of order on my experiences from yesterday.
まったく、ひでえ言い草だな。
What?
こう見えても俺は寂しいんだぜ。明日からお前の顔が見られなくなるって思うとな。
Is that because the cadet you and the others used to tease with impunity will be gone, Lieutenant?
お前さ、人聞きの悪いこと言うんじゃねえよ。俺らのおかげで、お子様なお前にもすげえいい思い出ができただろ。
I mean facts, but also... That's not... I won't say I'd like to forget them anytime soon, but calling them good seems kind of inappropriate. But in hindsight, I wouldn't do anything differently. They are the memories to end all memories. His words ring true, annoyingly so. To be sure, there's that one moment I won't be able to forget, together with that evil smirk of yours when you confessed to your dirty trick. My apologies, Lieutenant. I can't be fully honest with myself yet. What do you mean? Of course I do. I know exactly how to repay you, Lieutenant, and I swear on my life I will. You don't have to worry. I'll make it happen. Aye, Makabe Seijiro. I'm a samurai. I'm honor bound to remember both my promises and the kindness I've received. Yes, Lieutenant. I would never. A historical covenant between Germany and Japan. Really now. No more importantly, did he just admit I'm a samurai? What? Yes. Maybe the lieutenant isn't a gigantic douche, but only has trouble expressing himself. Maybe he's been a nice guy all along. Seems I just can't stop judging a book by its cover. I will. The same goes for you, Lieutenant. And you simply can't fall in battle before you come to Japan. Failing to keep a promise shames a samurai deeply. Thank you for everything, Lieutenant Brower. May you remain in good health, until the day we meet again. Wish you good fortune in the battles to come. Oh, he said his name. That's nice.
Makabe Seijiro 候補生。現時刻をもって、主君の我が隊における視察研修の終了を認む。
Second year Cadet Makabe Seijiro, Imperial Royal Guard, Empire of Japan. I'm leaving my post here today.
楽にしろ、真壁。ご苦労だった。我が隊での経験が、主君の帝国近衛軍における活躍の一助になれば幸いだ。
I will always be in your debt for these past few days, Major. I will continue to improve myself as a service pilot, so that I don't soil the name of your glorious unit.
不意の実戦にも臆することなく立派だった。貴君の父上や兄上たちも鼻が高いことだ。
I'm honored. Your words are more than I deserve.
ファーレンホルスト注意。
はい。
これは実戦を共にした貴君の働きに対するささやかな礼だ。
I can't believe it. The crest of the three-headed beast, the watchdog of hell. This is the Cerberus Battalion's emblem. And there's a number carved here. 37?
真壁候補生。あなたはツェルベルス大隊37番目の衛士。
That's fucking nice.
私。
Thank you, but I didn't.
謙遜は日本人の美徳であるな。だが我が輩らは心から帰還に感謝しておる。
遠慮なく受け取るがいい。貴様は我が隊の新任ども。特にフォイルナー少尉を成長させてくれた。
さあ、どうか受け取って、真壁候補生。
Yes, I will humbly do so. Such an honor, even though it was nothing but a burden. This is such an honor.
ほら、顔を拭いて。いい男が台無しじゃないか。いいか、テルベルスはいかなる時も胸を張るんだ。
Hell yeah.
我が隊の一員となった以上、無許可で戦死してはならんのである。良いな、真壁候補生。心せ。
Captain Relishstein, Lieutenant Vosternach, thank you.
きツェルベルス、祖国と人類に尽くされんことを。
I will always be in your debt.
さらばだ、友よ。いつの日かまた共に揚げたじゃがいもをたらふく食おう。
Please be in good health. I'll be praying for your victory from the bottom of my heart. What about that letter, though? What about that letter, though? This could be the last time I set my eyes upon this magnificent view. The smell of the tides, the green of the forest nearby. I have just barely grown familiar with this scene, yet it is time for me to depart. Remembering these past few days feels strangely nostalgic, out of character for me, I would say. Have I really become that sentimental? I'm sure the old me would believe this is the last time I would come to this faraway land. Then again, the old me is dead. Gone forever. I was aware that during a battle you have no choice but to entrust your comrades in arms with your life, and yet I needed to come to Europe to truly understand what this means. I tried to shoulder everything by myself, and not until the day I was utterly powerless to change my fate did I realize how wrong that was. Yesterday, I took part in a real operation for the first time, albeit took part might be too charitable a description. I was no more useful than luggage, and so I had no choice but to sit back and wait for the battle to be over, hopefully with an outcome in our favor. The thought made me incredibly uneasy. The idea itself, that I had no choice but to trust a fighting force I deemed lacking, was confusing. To say my mind was thrown into chaos would be an understatement. But shortly thereafter, I would come to see I had greatly underestimated Cerberus. Maybe even more importantly, I noticed the Typhon's crew was in the exact same position. If the heavy laser glass had broken through, we would have been vaporized, helpless to do anything. It made me realize that on the battlefield, we're all equals. Regardless of our backgrounds, regardless of our status, we're all fighting for the same objective. Working together to finish the mission is the only thing that matters in the face of death. I'll be forever grateful to have experienced this lesson for myself. Mere theoretical knowledge could never hope to compare.
お前の話も言いたいこともよくわかった。申し訳ないが、私が言ってやれることは何一つない。他のことなら別だ。だが、その問題だけはお前が独力で答えにたどり着かなければ、今どれだけもがき苦しもうとも、何にもよらない聖十郎の力だけでだ。お前と似たような問題を抱えたやつが、いや、奴らと言うべきか。皆、だからこそ人が、いや、忘れてくれ。
Go on. Now I see what Lieutenant Falkenmeyer was hinting at that day. I can't believe how unreliable I was. I can't believe how kind the lieutenant was to go along with my whims. She all but told me the answers. I hope that after today, it'll just be a little bit easier to ensure the promises I've exchanged with Lieutenants Fulner and Brower come true. Wouldn't that be nice? Sounds like there's a car coming this way. I was planning on walking to the station, to take in the surroundings, till the very last minute. It's a pity, but it looks like such a luxury will not be granted to me. Oh, someone's practically torturing that poor engine. And that screeching is positively nasty. Judging from how fast the sound is approaching, the driver likes to step on the gas. Huh? Fucking Luna, I love it. Huh? What? It's going to...
ごめんなさいね、清十郎くん。すっかりお待たせしてしまって。
まったくお前の運転は。おう、清十郎。微動だにしないとは見上げた胆力だな。
私たち、駅まで送るよう少佐から申し付けられましたのよ。
すまんがイルフリーデは別の任務で外せなくてな。
さあ、ヘルガ、急ぎますわよ。
まだそれほどの時間では。おい、待ってくれ。
I'm assuming fucking Ilfriede set up like some kind of nice little farewell moment.
無事に送ることができて何よりですわ。
You should be glad I'm not dead. There's almost an hour left. Let me tell you what happened. I was shoved into the car and somehow I ended up here before I knew it. You guys think I don't know what I'm talking about? You're right. I don't know what's going on at all. I saw it all, but it wasn't something like advanced driving techniques or breaking the sound barrier. It was over in a flash, but that was traumatic enough. Riding in a car with Lieutenant Visselbin behind the wheel is far more terrifying than TSF flight training. My driving was reckless enough traveling on paved road, but then she suddenly decided to take an off-road detour, and I could swear to gods I had seen my last glimpse of this world. How come you're okay? Are you even human?
It
was my honor, Lieutenant. I will devote myself to use what I learned here for the sake of humanity and the Empire. That reminds me. I already wrote about it in my letter, but it can't hurt to thank her in person. Excuse me, Lieutenant Visselbin, but there's something I would like to thank you for. For always leaving me a hot towel in my room. I want you to know that I'm sincerely grateful. It's my first time living abroad, and the experience can be quite stressful at times. Thanks to that kind gesture of yours, my mental fatigue vanished in the blink of an eye. I was recharged, filled with excitement, and ready to face tomorrow. Yeah, it's not gonna be what he thinks it is, though. Despite your busy schedule, you were always there for me, night after night. At this point, I'm simply repeating myself, but thank you, from the bottom of my heart. She's like, no, that was the wash towel you used to clean your bathroom. Is there something wrong, Lieutenant Visselbin? I don't know what she's thinking, but she's definitely getting the wrong idea. Not at all. I got a private room, it's true, but I've been using it in a completely wholesome way. I'm not degenerate. Yep. As I've been talking about the entire time. Wait, what exactly did I get wrong? What? You serious? That display of hospitality was all Lieutenant Fulner's doing? But I remember how I saw you coming out of my room during the first day. Now that explains why the hot towel was lukewarm, because Lieutenant Fulner was the one who put it there a while back. If Lieutenant Visselbin had done so, it would have been as hot as intended. God damn it, Ilfriede. But I don't believe hot towels are part of Japan's cultural heritage or anything of the sort. What?
第二次世界大戦後、日本の航空会社が機内サービスに取り入れ、その快適さから世界中に広まったと書いてあったの。残念ながら、エータ大戦以後の混乱で、世界、特にヨーロッパではおしぼりのサービスが絶えてしまったようですけれど。
This cannot be. Why that ignorant of Japan's cultural heritage, less well educated on the Empire's customs than German surface pilots?
それも、イルフリーデが探し出した資料にあったな。それはお世辞にも深い内容とは言えないものだったが、イルフリーデは日本文化に関する資料を手当たり次第集めていたんだ。付け焼き場もいいところでしたけど、お迎えの準備だと言って紙にブラシで文字を書いたり、調理室から鍋を借りてきたりで大わらわでしたわね。
日本の刀や鎧って何百年も前の戦争の道具なのに、細部にまで色鮮やかな飾りや美しい細工が凝らされていて、まるで美術品のようでしょ。武具にそういう思想と技術を込める民族が建てるなら、それは美しいお城になるんじゃないかなって思っていたのよ。とても美しいんでしょうね、日本のお城って。いつかこの目で見てみたいわ。
So that's why she sometimes seemed to know more than she should. This also explains the matter of the surreal hanging scroll on the makeshift tea set. That's right. That's exactly right. Unforgivable. How blind have I been? Not only was I in the dark about a tremendously important cultural asset of my beloved empire, but I was also ignorant of Lieutenant Fulner's true worth. My complaints are worth less than a drunkard's ramblings. She was the one who cared about me the most. How did I pay her back? I criticized her again and again, in front of her comrades even. Lieutenant Falkenmeyer, I really need to apologize to Lieutenant Fulner. Is there a way for me to do so?
詫びなど不要だろう。イルフリーデの行動はお前に感謝されたいがためではないだろうからな。
What?
お前の不評を買ったあのようにラフな接し方はあやつ自身が選んだゆえのことだ。お前がどう評価しようとそれは自由だ。
She's saying it's my fault as well. I should have been able to see beneath the surface, but failed miserably at the task. What I'm trying to understand is, why would Lieutenant Fulner go so far for my sake?
簡単なことですわ、清十郎君。
Huh?
帰国後すぐに任官し、即戦場に立つであろう少年兵に、無人の矜持を示すよりも、人のぬくもりを感じられる思い出を渡したいと
I
願った
already
んだ。
liked Ilfriede, but god damn it. She's a fucking sweetheart, I love her. I honestly regret picking Helga now during that one choice. I know it only affected one scene, but god damn it. So that was it. In the end, it all comes back to the 8 minutes of death. Once my exchange is over, I'll be deployed in combat as a newly commissioned second lieutenant in a matter of weeks. I could die in my very first battle, long before I even reached the dreaded 8-minute threshold. That's why she did so much for me.
あいつはそういうやつなんだ。
そうですわね。
She is an airhead, with an excessive fondness for physical contact, and wouldn't be accurate to describe her as meddlesome. But Lieutenant Fulner is also someone who understands what it means to care for others, in the truest sense of the word. I don't know what the future has in store for me. No matter how much I struggle, it may not last beyond the 8 minutes of death. But when the moment of my death comes, I want to be able to look back upon my life with pride.
さて、そろそろ戻りましょうか、ヘルガ。
わかった。行こう。
Lieutenant Witzeben, Lieutenant Falkenmeyer, thank you for everything you've done.
達者でな、清十郎。命を粗末にする英士にだけはなるなよ。
Yes, I will. Your advice the other day was invaluable, Lieutenant. Thanks to you, I feel as if peeled off my adolescent skin and emerged as a real man.
そんなことをした覚えはないが、自信があるのは確かなようだな。
I'm not sure if I would call it confidence, but I'm certain your words give me a new perspective.
みんな一人でもがき続けている。だからこそ人が、いや、忘れてくれ。おせっかいが過ぎたようだ。
I wonder what you were going to say before you cut yourself off. Personal growth is an individual matter. It's the person in question who has to deal with the resulting triumphs or failures. My struggle does not concern Lieutenant Falkenmeyer. Always relying on answers from another is the same as being stuck as a child forever. You're the only one who can find the answers to the questions that plague you. Never mind. Please forget I said anything.
一皮むけた。そんなことをした。
Could you please not ruin my farewell speech, woman? I'll be praying for your safety. Please relay that to Lieutenant Fulner as well.
わかった。必ず伝えよう。
さようなら、清十郎君。いつかまたお会いしましょう。
Am I imagining things, or did that Humvee just fly away? Not even speaking figuratively, really now. It's a miracle I made it here in one piece. This was quite a pedestrian send-off, but that's alright. It's just like Cerberus to not make a big deal out of things. Still plenty of time until the train departs. According to my military-grade Casquillo watch, I have 43 minutes before I must leave. It's all thanks to Lieutenant Witzelben's aggressive driving style and her blitzkrieg on that poor Humvee's engine. I would venture it's the highest speed ever recorded off-road. I wish we could have taken the scenic route instead. I have time to spare, but absolutely nothing to do. Waiting here without doing anything would be the worst possible choice. Miraculously, I find myself in the same situation as when I first arrived. Yep, I started realizing that. Is he gonna walk the course again and fucking happen to run into her? Barely 10 days have passed, but it feels like an eternity. Can't believe how desperate I was to be seen as a full-fledged adult, to the point where I got myself into trouble for foolishly trying to prove that I'm not a child. But Europe, do not dare underestimate me. In the Empire, they say a boy can grow fiercely in a mere 3 days, yet here I stand, a cadet in Europe for 10 whole days, which means I've become thrice the man. Still, something is missing. Can't lie and say everything worked out perfectly, but I don't believe it speaks ill of my character to be left with some lingering regrets. Tradition, discipline, and the legacy of House Makabe, my drive to uphold the values I hold dear remains as strong as ever, which is not to say I wish to remain stagnant. The time I spent here taught me that it's fine to let loose at times, as long as you keep your wits about you. However, Europe, don't get your hopes up too high. I may be thrice the man I was, but demanding I do not feel sentimental as I take in this scenery would be asking the impossible. Well, such is life. Perhaps I should kill some time at the underground platform. I could count the railroad ties until I reach the same amount as the number of good memories I've forged in this place, and keep me busy for a while. Good grief, what am I thinking? I was supposed to head for the underground platform, but I ended up heading toward the equestrian trail instead. Yep. I have no idea what I'm doing, but for once, I'm going to let things play out. Besides, there's nothing compared to Lieutenant Fulner's impulsivity. She's like a typhoon, leaving a trail of destruction. I am but a gentle breeze. This might possibly be the first time in my life I act solely on my feelings. Others might not consider this as anything special. For someone like me, though, who has always felt the need to justify his actions somehow, this is nothing short of a milestone. It's all thanks to Lieutenant Fulner. Clearly, she's been a major influence on me. What a shame. Couldn't say my goodbyes to her in person. I owe her so much. A simple letter doesn't do things justice. The letter was for her, I figured as much. Now that I'll have to depart, the least I can do is to sear the place where we first met into my memory. An indulgence, sure, but one that I will allow myself. Yeah? Lieutenant Fulner? I didn't write it down. I owe you an apology. I was a fool who let himself be overcome by his own dogmatic beliefs. Not only did I make light of your unit and the rest of Europe, I even looked down on you when I had absolutely no grounds to do so. Behaving like a narrow-minded fool, I couldn't understand your inner strength and nobility, the way you were always cheerful without relying on anyone. You could go so far as to say that strength of yours is what made me adore you. Ask not the sparrow how the eagle soars, indeed. I wanted to apologize to you, Lieutenant, and yet I couldn't. There won't be many regrets I take back home from my time in Europe. I'm sure this is one failure that will haunt me for the rest of my life.
どうしたの、清十郎？大丈夫？
Yes, I'm okay. There's no need to concern yourself with me, Lieutenant. I brought this on myself. It's only right I accept whatever happens to me. Yep, she's actually there. What? Lieutenant Fulner, what are you doing here?
驚かせてごめんなさい。急いで追いかけたんだけど、まさか清十郎がこんなところにいるなんて思わなかったから。
Oh, then she came all this way, just to see me off?
あれ？私ちゃんと英語で話してるわよね。
No, oh, yes, Lieutenant, you're speaking in English.
やだもう、脅かさないで清十郎。私の顔を見てもずっと動かないんだもの。ドキドキ。
No, it was just,
でも間に合ってよかった。遅くなっちゃったのは自分のせいだから仕方ないけど、そのせいで清十郎のお見送りをできなかったら寂しいものね。
well...
それにしても清十郎は本当にトレイルランコースが好きなのね。一緒に早掛けできなかったのがちょっと残念だわ。
Oh, no, there's no need to worry about that.
でも言ったでしょ、この一帯は部外者立ち入り禁止の部隊専有エリアだって。もう忘れちゃったの？
Of course I didn't forget, Lieutenant. Exactly why I came here.
まあそうね。離任してもここを離れるまではまだ清十郎が私たちのお客様であることに変わりはないわよね。
That's not quite accurate, Lieutenant.
え？
I am the 37th Service Pilot of the Cerberus Battalion.
30...
I wanted to carry this medal close to me on my way back to the Empire. Good thing I remembered to put it in my breast pocket.
それは
I got it from Major Eichberger. It's proof that I stood beside Cerberus in an actual battle. More than I deserve, really.
よかったわね清十郎本当によかったわね
Thank you, Lieutenant. Is he gonna welcome the hug? Normally she would start raving about Major Eichberger, singing his praises with no end in sight. What could it be? She's genuinely happy about me getting this medal?
帰国後すぐに任官し即戦場に立つであろう少年兵に無人の矜持を示すよりも人のぬくもりを感じられる思い
The way I treated Lieutenant Fulner, despite her going so far to take care of me, how I looked down on her with an air of superiority, it's inexcusable. There's a good chance I will never see her again. I need to apologize now. Hey, Lieutenant...
何清十郎
I can't do it. I shouldn't do it. Time for words has come and gone. What's done is done.
詫びなど不要だろうイルフリーデ
Hug her. Give her a hug. That is like the perfect fucking send-off.
お前の不評を買ったあのようにラフな接し方はあやつ自身が選んだゆえのことだ
It is not the time to apologize, but rather to acknowledge my ignorance, to pledge to do better. Lieutenant Fulner made me tragically aware of this flaw of mine, one of the many things I should be thanking her for. Besides, saying I misunderstood her all this time and apologizing for the matter does her no good. It would be a mere excuse for my failings, something done purely for my own self-satisfaction. Still, there's something I absolutely need to tell her. You've done so much for me, Lieutenant Fulner. Thank you. I've learned so many unforgettable things during my time in Europe, and it's all thanks to you. Couldn't have asked for a better start to my career as a surface pilot. And I had never experienced days as chaotic as the ones I spent with you, Lieutenant. I will treasure them for the rest of my life.
清十郎
Thank you for the wonderful memories. Please, remain in good health forever.
さようなら清十郎大丈夫あなたなら立派な英士になれるわ
Thank you very much. Suddenly I felt the urge to speak up. I felt an overwhelming need to tell Lieutenant Fulner something, anything, to the point where it was impossible to hold back. You know, Lieutenant. Do you still remember what you said about wanting to see Japanese castles?
うんいつの日か私が日本に行ったら清十郎が案内してくれるんでしょ
Of course. I began to speak, but a little sense of confidence I had vanished as soon as the first words came out. Not surprising, really. I have no idea what I want to tell the Lieutenant. My mind keeps racing, trying to find out exactly what to say. I'm in uncharted territory. It's the first time I've ever confessed to a woman, yes. And yet the words keep rushing out from my mouth. Lieutenant, I will do whatever it takes to keep our promise. I swear I'll survive the 8 minutes of death.
分かっているわあなたは侍だもの侍に二言はないものね
Yes, when that time comes. When that time comes, I'll be there to welcome you, Lieutenant. Yes? She embraces me softly, as if caressing something precious. Feels distinctly different from the way she used to hug me. It's a warm and gentle embrace, one that reminds me of Mother. Better fucking hug her back. Ah, yes!
その
Yes!
日が来ることを楽しみにしているわ
Me too. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Huh? Jesus, I did not realize there was such a height difference between them. Holy hell.
これは騎士の誓い
I'm sorry?
私から清十郎への約束の証よ
Yes.
再び会える日まで私も頑張る
was but a child. Looking back, that much is clear. Perhaps she was my first love. But my love was unrequited. To Lieutenant Fulner, I was like a little brother, and nothing more. I know that now. I've come to terms with it. Love, affection, and adoration. Emotions that I treated as one and the same, without attempting to make any nuanced distinction. I thought mere determination would be enough, that zeal alone would be enough for a man to rise to the occasion. Unlaughable. I can't believe what a sad excuse of a man I used to be. Brings a smile to my face, actually. But one person saw right through my act. Ilfriede von Fulner. She didn't care about my shortcomings, gave me her unconditional love instead. I was so hell-bent on finding out what chivalry really meant. Pretty ironic now that I think about it. It was thanks to those German knights, who stood so tall and proud without relying on anyone but themselves, that I could come to know true Bushido.
ヘッドクォーターより待機中の全攻撃部隊に次ぐ。支援砲撃終了まで約300秒。戦域突入に備えよ。繰り返す。
Wolf Blaze 1 to all leaders. See standby mode, bring it. Okay. Crimson is the color of burning passion, and it just so happens to be the Rote Company's color. Happy coincidence, I must say.
ヘッドクォーターより待機中の全攻撃部隊に次ぐ。支援砲撃終了まで約180秒。作戦は第3フェーズに移行。繰り返す。作戦は第3フェーズに移行。
I was a mere mockery of a man, but that changed nothing. If Samurai's word is sacred, I will fulfill my promise and I will repay their kindness. Wolf Blaze 1 to Wolf Blaze Battalion. Fight as you always have, devote yourself to the survival of the Empire and the human race. You have lived through battle before, do so once again. Repeating the fucking Major's words. Fuck yeah. Let's go, Wolf Blaze. Follow my lead. Oh, oh. God, that was fucking great. I legitimately love that. Wait, is there... I'm sorry to skip through the credits here, but like, I need to know, is there some epilogue shit, or are we just gonna cut back to the title screen? Like, sometimes there's some epilogue shit. Ilfie.
行ってしまいましたわね。
ああ、行ってしまったな。
ルナ、ヘルが。
しかし間に合ってよかったな。清十郎が一人でふらふら歩き始めた時はどうなるかと思ったが。
間に合った？なんでヘルガがそれを？っていうか、フラフラって何？だいたい
清十郎を見送った後、高機動車を車両保管所に戻していたんだ。
そうじゃなくて、清十郎と一緒に駅で待ってるからすぐ来いってメモをくれたでしょ？
うん。まあ私はそのつもりだったんだが。
ひどいわよ。清十郎ほっぽり出してさっさと帰ってくるなんて。
いや、私たちは最後まで見届けていたのだが。
さっきから何を言ってるの、ヘルが。だいたいどこにもいなかったじゃない。
俺は必ず死の8分を乗り越え、少尉との約束を果たしますは？分かっているわ。あなたは侍だもの。侍に二言はないものね。はい、その際には少尉をお迎えに上がる所存です。
ちょっと、なんでルナがそこまで細かく知ってるのよ。
あなた方のお別れの一部始終は少し離れたところからじっくりと拝見させていただいていましたの。
はあ？なんでわざわざそんなことするのよ。一緒に見送ってあげればよかったじゃない。
そのような野望できませんわ。
さっきから全然話が噛み合ってない感じがするんだけど。
遠くの少佐より近くの士官候補生、悪い選択ではありませんわ。敵と距離と年の差に阻まれてなお燃え上がる二人の心、素敵ですわ。
はいはい、 またルナの病気が始まったってわけね。人のことすぐ勝手に恋愛小説っぽい妄想にして楽しむんだから。
許してくれイルフリーデ。覗き見するようで不本意だったのだが。
分かってる。どうせルナがいろいろ計画して強
That's not what she's
引に
talking
仕切っ
about.
たんでしょ。
あら、恥ずかしがらなくてもいいのよ。私たちはあなた方を心から応援していますわ。
待て、私をそこに加えるの？
別に何を妄想するのもルナの勝手だけど、そんな目で見るのは清十郎に失礼でしょ。あんな小さい子が立派な英士になるために地球の反対側からわざわざ見学しに来てくれたのよ。
あんな小さい子？
そうよ。しかも日本に帰ったらすぐに実践に出るなんて。仕方のないこととはいえ、世界中で起きている悲しい現実だわ。
Did she legit think he was a kid the whole time?
だから清十郎には楽しい思いをいっぱいして帰ってほしかったの。だいたい私なんかが相手じゃ清十郎がかわいそうじゃない。あの子がいい年頃になったら私おばちゃんだよ。
そこまで？
清十郎、私がおばちゃんになっても日本のお城を案内してくれるかしら。それまでは絶対死ねないわよね。だから2人で約束したんだ。
イルフィ？
Yeah.
もしかす
She
る
just
とあな
figured
た
because he was so short that he was a kid. I love it.
清十郎の年齢を知らないのではなくて？
清十郎の年？まあ、あの外見だし、どう見ても小学生くらいでしょ。
That's why she treated him so. Oh my god. She thought he was a fucking toddler.
まあ、イルフィったら東洋人は実際の年齢よりかなり若く見えるのよ。いくらなんでも中学生ぐらいですわ。
またルナの妄想が始まった。
お前たち。お前たちは司令部から配布された清十郎の資料に
ああ、今朝事務官が回収してたあの分厚いやつね。まあ、ざっとね。
And she's like, he's the same age as us, idiot.
私はあくまでサポートですので、そこまでの詳細は
つまり見ていないということだな。
いいのよ、細かいことは。初対面で変な先入観があると逆にうまくいかない場合があるでしょ。それにほら、私日本のこといろいろ調べるので忙しかったし。
お前たちは。
何？もしかして何かあった？ちょっとなんで急に黙るの？何その目。
清十郎は美しい思い出を持って帰った。それ
ちょっとルナ、なんか言いなさいよ。
イルフィ、真実を知ることは必ずしも幸せとは限りませんわ。
はあ？なんであんたが急にそっち側行ってんのよ。
花からルナの妄想など真に受けてないが、それ
何歳なの？
清十郎君、よりによってなぜイルフィなのでしょうね。
だからなんであんたはそんなことを上から。
まったく粗骨者が。
だから何歳なのよ。
God damn it, of course it ends right there. Oh my god. That's actually fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Wow. That was great. Honestly, that was a phenomenal story. Like, I just loved it. I just loved it. And oh my god, there's really nothing more I can say about it. It was just a really good story. I loved it. And I'm just repeating myself over and over at this point, but in case I haven't gotten the point across, I love this story. Oh wow. Well, nothing more to say. That's gonna do it for this video. In the next one, we'll start up Resurrection. Until then, Bye.